All right, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Veil with Bonesy and Conscious Evolution. I'm your host, AJ, and I had my first reconnection done last night, so I'm going to have part two in about 2 hours here today, so I figured I'd try to squeeze a show in with Bonesy here real quick before we get this thing, or get this part two going, man. I had a first one last night. It was it was weird. Not weird. Well, yeah, it was kind of weird. So when Case was doing the reconnection to me, I had my eyes closed, but I could see him, like, see his face, see the glasses on his face. Like I saw everything. Saw like how he had his hands, where he had his hands, where he put his hands, and I didn't really feel it too much like over my body, but my head was just like buzzing the entire time, even when he wasn't like up here working on the head part. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. It was not like I kept like squinching my eyes hard, like closed real hard, and thinking like maybe I had my eyes open a little bit. Nope, no, that wasn't it at all. So that was a little distracting. I wasn't expecting that. So now I know that I could maybe settle in a little bit more today for part two and hope that goes. Oh, another crazy synchronicity that Africa, you guys know Africa. You've seen, I did a show with her with Solomon Speaks. She texted me after the reconnection was over saying that she felt like engulfed in these energies and in her head mostly, like I felt during the reconnection. And she had to pull over. She was driving. She had to pull over for 30 minutes and just like sitting there because it was the exact same time I was having the reconnection done. Crazy.
That's insane, man. I'm loving that.
That's nuts. Nuts. So anyway, here's Bonesy.
What's up? Here I am.
Bonesy had an exciting morning. He had his first video premiered on the Higher Self YouTube channel, his first solo video, and he's more than doubled his subscriptions overnight. So congratulations, yes, brother. I'm happy for you.
Yes. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
It's only a matter of time. I knew it would happen.
I know. Universe is working in my favor here.
Yep. Yep. There's a divine.
You know, it's crazy how we're connected like this, and how I just love that story about Africa because, you know, like you was talking about, you had said something about when you're down, we feel it. And like I had contacted you, hey, what's going on with you, you know, and I'm sure a few other people did too. Mm-hmm. But we're like that connected. It's almost like family, you know. I think it is family. It's actually beyond family, you know. It's strange to me how connected and how there's a few people on my channel that we have so many things in common, and birthdays and just all these weird coincidences, you know, synchronicities. You know, there's no coincidences. These are synchronicities, right, you know. So, but it's pretty amazing, man. This whole journey is just amazing. I'm loving this shit. It's better than anything I've ever done, you know. And I've done a lot of shit. Really feel good. I've done some stuff that makes you feel real good. You know what I mean? And this is like top of the, you know, I don't feel bad afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing.
Yeah, there are no regrets, no remorse.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I wanted to do our episode today. This is our fourth one already. I wanted to kind of concentrate on the reconnection, on the healings, and all that stuff, because you already had your reconnection done, and you and I have been messing around with the frequencies and doing distance sessions with one another, and like it's really starting to evolve into what I think we're really meant to do. You know what I mean? So right. So you had your reconnection with Case also. Case, yes, from Everyday Masters, and you had that back in September, was it?
Yes, September the 9th. It was 9/9/18.
Oh wow, 9/9.
Yeah. And I was in room 225, and I set my odometer on the way back. It was 99 miles from that front door to my house. 99. It was crazy. On my 54th birthday. Started on the 36th week of the year. Nuts. Nines, baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
that we connected on this Zoom chat at 8:10. So that's
It's the 9.
yep, another 9.
Yeah, and my video that I made last night about Case, it ended up being 27 minutes and 27 seconds.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Saw that. Another 9.
I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? All right.
Rocking those
I'll do
9.
some
Man.
more pieces.
I see 33 a lot. It is my main number. Like I see 33 at every hour of the day. Like, I'll see 5:33.
It's 44. Yeah, 44 for me. It's like 8:44. It's 9:44. I just caught the 7:44, the 8:44, and yeah.
You said before though you used to see 33, and then it kind of evolved into the 44, right?
Yeah. I don't know my numbers will change. I'll have, like, I'll go through. I always have the time changes in the 9. That's something that it either is up or it's down, but it's always happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then other numbers will change. Sometimes the clock will add up to 12, and it'll happen all day long. Sometimes it'll be 7 and 9, go back and forth between 7 and 9. And I've been trying to decipher what the hell it means. I've been, I write down the letters of the alphabet. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, what am I thinking at that time? Just trying to figure out what is this message. There's like a message coming through, and I haven't deciphered it yet. So that's part of my journey.
Yeah, I don't know if it is meant to be deciphered. I think it's just to let you know that you're on the right path. And Aluna Ash's description of that is like what resonated the most with me about it. The numbers have their values and different frequencies attached to them, which is a whole nother thing. But you're saying your higher self is showing or putting these synchronicities through to download your new reality, basically. So
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense, because we're constantly changing and shifting. And you notice, like, if you don't see as many synchronicities, you're not in that great space at that time. You know what I mean? It's
right.
almost like you're back in the 3D world and trying to figure some shit out.
I was just there a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And I was getting nothing. I was like, I look at the clock, and what was funny is they got to the point where I would stare at the clock and wait for it to change, because I've gotten so addicted to it. When I look at it, it changes right when I look at it. I mean, I don't sit there and look at it for a second or two. I look at it, it changes immediately.
Yeah.
And I've gotten addicted to that. It's been going on for over a year, and it died out. And I'm like, and I wasn't making any videos. And I was sort of kind of come down into this earth plane deal, mixing up with these human beings here, and got caught up in the mud bog, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of got all that, shook the mud off, and started doing my thing again, started making videos and getting back onto my meditation and doing things I was supposed to. And bam, here it is. It's all back. So
yep.
Like you said, it's a confirmation of where you're supposed to be, where you're not supposed to be, So, yeah, it's good.
It's not so much not so much you're not supposed to be there, but it's more like you're just off the path for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're just
right.
Yeah. So back to the reconnection. When you had your reconnection, you had it. That was in Ohio, right?
Yes.
That was 99 miles from your house. That's funny.
It was insane, dude.
So Case told me a funny story about that too. That one of the people, like when he was there, they remember that like shitty hotel that he had. He got there, like he wasn't expecting to really do many reconnections or anything like that. And one of the guys that showed up was from Australia. He flew to Ohio to have his reconnection done, just for that. No other reason.
I remember that.
You got him in his little cut rate hotel. It was all ghetto stuff. It was funny.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what you do. You know what I mean? So
right. Yeah.
You've done a couple videos, especially when you first started. You were putting out like things like with your conversations with him, and
yes,
dude, he's such a cool guy, man. Like we're all on the same level. I very much think he's part of this soul tribe, and he's he just found his way a little sooner than we did. But so tell us about the reconnection, like what your experience was during the reconnection?
Well, the first day when I went in, it was, of course, me and him kicked it off right off the bat, and we sat there and just, talk shit and just laughed mostly, it's pretty cool conversation because all we're doing is laughing and talking a lot, laughing and talking. I'm so fucking geeked, dude. Pardon my language, but I'm so geeked out that I'm just blurting out all this shit that's been happening with me because I had all these synchronicities and I had all these magical events and I'd seen these entities and I'd seen, just all this crazy shit. And I'm just blurting it out. And he's just sitting there laughing, looking at me like, I know he hears this all the time, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it surprised him any, but he was just into it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling him shit. But as the reconnection started, the same thing happened to me. I could see him through my eyelids.
Really?
And I did the same thing. I closed my eyes. I couldn't see his glasses. In fact, I don't think he had his glasses on. But I could see, I think I could see his hat. I definitely could see his hands and his arms. And I thought, well, maybe it's the shadows, but when I got up from the reconnection, I thought there was an overhead light, and that's how I must have seen the shadow. There was no overhead light. The only light we really had in the room was the window light, and there was 2 lights up by the little desk thing that we were setting at.
Okay.
There was no light back there. So I don't have no idea how I actually seen him through my eyelids. But as far as the feelings went, I could feel my eyes twitching, and I could feel my face doing these twitches stuff. But then my right hand started going back and forth like this. And it was just wah, 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 wah. And my left hand is going boom, 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 boom. It's happened over here. And I'm feeling it. And then every once in a while, my foot will twitch. And then the second day that I went in, though, I had this thing going on with my collarbone and my shoulders. My shoulders were flopping forward. I can't get it to do it now.
Yeah.
But it was just like boom, boom, boom. They were just flopping it got so bad to where it didn't hurt. But I was like, damn, is this shit over? Yeah, you know what I mean? It was really intense. Yeah, I could just feel my shoulders flopping forward, and it was right here in my collarbones, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a weird deal there that I felt. But I didn't see any colors, didn't hear anything. What was weird is I kept, I always seen everybody else's experiences, and that's what I expected, And I went in there with expectations, huge mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, everybody's experience is different, So I didn't see the colors, and I could hear this, like you said, it was a cheesy ass motel pretty much. It wasn't that bad, but it was. But anyway, I could hear this dude next door, and he's got like grandkids, and the TV's blazing, and he's yelling at the kids, and the kids are running around, and I can hear it while this is going on, and I'm flopping around on this table, and I can hear everything that's going on around me, I couldn't hear Case, but I could hear everything in the motel. I hear people come out of doors, slam it, go down, start their car. I'm hearing all this shit. And I'm thinking, man, is this supposed to be like this, But it is, it is supposed to be what it is, But yeah, it was pretty profound. And here's another thing that was crazy is my room was, okay, in relation to where he had that bed, and I know that he kind of goes out with his hands, it goes up, brings that light in and then goes out and then takes it and extends it out this way or whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, in relation to where that bed was, my room was just upstairs and right off of it. Well, the girl that he was doing before me, I was sitting in a chair like I'm sitting right here, and I was closing my eyes, sort of meditating. I was just sort of preparing. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I started jerking and flopping. I could feel whatever, when he was running his hands up, I could feel it. It was like, and then he must have brought his hands back down and went over the other way, you know what I mean? Wow. And then they would come back up, and I would feel this, this kind of a flopping thing, and I was like, oh my God, I am feeling this girl get reconnected. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty strange. I was like, wow, it was tripping me out. Another crazy thing that happened the first night, well, first me and her went and got tacos. There's this little real cool, authentic Mexican place that had some really good Mexican food. And we got these tacos, and I'm sitting there, and it's like I'm tripping, it was like I just took some dose. And everything had that crispy, clean edge, and around it, where you can, how when you're tripping, and everything has that look. It's like, I call it 3D, but we're already seeing shit in 3D, but it's like this other dimension, it's like this other.
Yeah, it's more like 5D.
Yeah, it is. And, that was going on. I was like, oh, wow. I'm looking around at people, and I'm looking at shit, and I'm like, oh, wow. You know, I'm sitting there tripping my ass off in this fucking taco place. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of cool. But later on that night, we're laying there in bed. And I'm laying there, and she's kind of just rubbing my hair and sitting there. And all of a sudden, dude, I started bawling. I just started crying. And I wasn't thinking of anything sad. Wasn't thinking of anything happy. I wasn't thinking of anything. I was actually about to doze off. And I felt this, you know, and I just started crying. And she's like, "Wow, honey, what's the matter?" What's the matter? I said, "I don't know what's the matter. You know, I don't know. I'm crying." You know what I'm saying? It came out of nowhere. It only lasted for a few minutes. But yeah, it was very strange how that just kind of came out of me. Just like, you know, almost like when you throw up and you're not expecting it, you know, it just came from nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You ever done that, you know, where like you just don't even know it's coming, you know? And I didn't know it was coming. I was like, what the hell, you know? And I thought that was pretty strange. But yeah, it's and everything has been ever since it's been kind of crazy. It's been kind of crazy. It's like I'm manifesting shit, and you got to be careful what you wish for, because some things, it takes one hell of a tragedy to change that situation, you know. And I'll just give one example that I give before in one of my videos. I have a cousin, and me and him are really tight. We've always been really, really tight. Well, he's an ex-Marine and lived a violent life. He's a crazy, crazy dude, but he's started drinking whiskey hard several decades ago, really. And he's a real bad alcoholic, real violent and crazy and this and that. Well, that fishing tournament deal, he had come over, and he was on my doorstep at 8:30 in the morning, rowdy, can't even hardly stand up. And I'm like, you know, I'm taking her to work. I'm like, dude, just get away from me. You know what I mean? And while I'm taking her to work, I was like telling her, I wish to God we could just have, you know, a day, go back in time and just be together, just spend time together without him being drunk, being an idiot, saying crazy shit. Dude, it wasn't 2 hours later, he got stabbed 7 times. One of them pierced his heart, one of them pierced his lung. He ended up going to Methodist, and he quit drinking, you know. And yeah, so, and there's several, I got other shit, you know. Another person I wanted to get clean, they ended up in jail, you know. So my dad's situation, I wanted it to change because it was like a halfway house. His house burnt. So I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa on manifesting shit. You know what I mean? I got to think it through. Do I really want, you know, this person to hit that wall and change? Because it's like right after the reconnection, man, I was kind of like, you know, when I think something happens crazy, and it changes the whole situation. So that's kind of strange. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of strange.
Well, you know, it's not, I don't think it's so much of you manifesting it, which, yeah, it is, but they wouldn't have changed in any other fashion. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was
exactly.
their own, you know, everybody wants to get clean on some subconscious level. They want to, you know, get rid of all that stuff, whether they know it or can admit it or not. I'm not getting into the whole addiction thing. You just did a video about all of us being from that background and having those experiences. But yeah, I mean, it takes a lot. It'll take a very drastic events to happen for most people to change their ways to get out of that addiction. So, you know, well, I can't say that, but yeah, I mean, don't limit yourself to what you're trying to say or what you're trying to manifest or what you want to do, because ultimately, if they didn't want to do it, it wouldn't happen. You know, it's
right.
Selves,
right.
And it's their higher selves being like, this is the action that's needed to make a change, and
right.
that just happened.
Yeah, and I could be connecting dots. You know what I'm saying? I could be, because you know how we can do. You know how we can do, but it just seemed like, you know, after like the third thing, fourth thing, I'm like, whoa, slow down before you wish something. You know, what's it going to take for that to happen? You need to think that through, because for some people that are so far gone, it's going to take a brick wall, man. It's going to take, you know, they're going to have to hit something hard.
Yep.
And are you ready for that?
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
90% of people in addiction end up dead or in jail.
Right.
I think it's even more than that, actually. There's so few of a percentage that get out of it. unstable,
Right.
especially. But anyway, so let's get back to that reconnection.
Back to
So you said
yeah.
your shoulders were bouncing and all that. I
Yes.
think that, and all right, let me do this first. So with that, I think that's kind of like you're being readjusted, realigned. Your body's
Yeah.
getting something worked out. That's what I
Yes.
go with if you're doing that. I had one little like shoulder twitch. That was the only like twitch I had. Other than that, it was like my head was just like zzz. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought. Damn it.
He was talking about how my shoulders were twitching and how you feel that's a readjustment or whatever, or maybe just my body just trying to get acclimated to new frequencies or whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere else with that too.
Just slap you.
Yeah.
I just smacked some. There you go.
So,
hopefully people will finally get used to it. They'll start to realize that we're a little tongue in cheek and we do have fun and we don't, we like to laugh.
yeah,
Especially
that's what it's all about.
You gotta
have fun. You gotta have fun. Damn it, there was really something else I wanted to go, but that's all right. We'll get back to it. So, so you did both your sessions there. Was one day any different than the other? Was one more profound than the other? And if so, like which one?
I would actually say that no, they were both sort of different. Like I say, the one, my hand and my arms, which the second day, my right hand, for some reason, it wants to go back and forth like this. But my left hand didn't start pounding as bad as it did the first day. My main thing, my right hand started kind of going back and forth, but I felt this like shoulder shirt, like a shoulder shrug thing go. And I was like, whoa. And then I thought about it and I was like, damn. And then it did it again. Then it did it again. Then it started going, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, it was, and he's trying to videotape it, you know what I mean? But he sets my camera up and because he said, I can't remember what he said, my camera done. And whatever he told me it did, it's never done it before ever. And I've had so much electronic shit go weird on me, man. I'm talking weird shit, especially since the reconnection. And he said, your camera, he told me what it did. And I was like, you're what? I've never heard of that. He said, yeah, the screen come on and said this, this, and this. And I don't know I have no idea what it did. But anyway, he got it to quit and then got it going again and set it on the counter. And on the video that he gave me, you can see the camera slowly, and he comes back to me and he's waving his hands over, but you can see that camera just slowly, the tripod's either spreading or whatever, and then it faces down into the sink, you know what I'm saying? And then finally at the end of it, he picks it back up and, he's saying, dude, I was going to text you and say, how was that? You know what I mean? He's like, dude, he was like a human, what do you call that? Telegraph?
The Morse code.
Yeah, it's like a human Morse code, or whatever. Because that's what it was like. I was, But the second day, it was my shoulders, man. Them dudes it was insane. But, I felt afterwards, I didn't feel like, because I had all these expectations. I thought there was going to be like all these things. I thought I was going to start crying, which I did that one night. But I thought, everything he described, I was expecting. Everything Eric Pearl described, I was expecting. Any person that I've ever heard describe their deal, that's what I was expecting. And my deal was just completely different. So, and that's how it's supposed to be.
That's what I wanted to say, to talk about the expectations. So, like, Case has done the videos showing people with high registers, which is cool. Like, I do like seeing that. I think it's crazy. But he even said it's only like, less than 5% of people have reactions like that, like where they have those registers and have those profound things. But it's like, it's kind of like you show people that and it's like it could scare them, or it could like us, we expect it, or people, the old energy, the low vibration people, you can only imagine what they think about it, but who cares?
Right.
They're gonna whatever.
Yeah,
got their own reality. It doesn't concern them. It don't.
They got a credit score to chase.
Yeah, right. And
gotta get past 700, bro.
So that made me think also of what Bashar says. He said, follow your highest excitement to the best of your ability with zero expectations on the outcome.
Right.
So when you
Right.
expect things and it doesn't happen, you end up getting disappointed. And that, before I ever heard that, I've always, not always, but majority of cases, like when I do things, or like when I would especially when I was younger, I learned very early on to not expect anything. Don't expect
Right.
something to happen, or don't expect it to happen a certain way if it does happen. And then, that will keep you from being disappointed that it doesn't turn out the way
Yeah.
you want it to. And
Yeah.
that's just how, I mean, I was a teenager when I started doing that. Like I was like 15 years old.
You're lucky.
Like a few times I did, I was like, going out expecting something and it didn't happen, and I'd be disappointed, but it was still a great time. But just because it didn't happen the way I thought it should happen,
Yeah.
then I was disappointed. And like, that's silly. That doesn't make any sense. Like, but I
Right.
still had a good time and I'm upset about it. So it's like self-sabotaging almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed in that for a long time. I was that way forever, and actually until recently have I changed my theory or my philosophy on that. And Case and Bashar, sort of has reiterated what I needed to hear, that that's what I need to be doing, is just enjoying the ride, man. It's all about the ride. It's not really about the destination. It's about the ride. You know what I mean? So, and I'm learning that. I'm learning to smell the roses. I'm learning to savor the day, and just, if I get up, I don't expect to get up tomorrow, but when I do, I'm ecstatic. I'm just so happy. Here's another day to do something. And and my whole perception on everything is changing, and it has changed drastically, but it's still changing. I'm still going in and out of what they call 5D, which I experienced, and it took me a while to figure that out. What happened to me, not this February, but the February before. I went straight into 5D. I know now that's what happened to me, and I was in it, dude. I was in it. I mean, I had forgiven everybody in my life. I'd forgiven myself. That was the biggest thing for me, was forgiving myself, because uh, growing up dysfunctional, um, and then you get married at 17, which I was barely 17 when we got married, had a baby on the way, and didn't know what the hell I was doing. My dad was an alcoholic. My mom was a drug addict and very abusive. She was extremely abusive. And anyway, I didn't have, my parenting skills came from watching Leave It to Beaver, you know what I'm saying? Or Father Knows Best and shit like that when I was a kid, And so I didn't have like this map of what to do. So, and my point is, as you grow as a father, any father who thinks that he couldn't have done better is probably not that good of a father. I think a good father will always think he could have done better, and he'll always wish he would have done better. So I had that on my plate, and then there's all kinds of shit that I had that, people that I had just stuck it in their back, you know what I mean? Just twisted,
Yeah.
back in my addicted days, and I had a lot of things that I had guilt and shame, and then I had my anger issues, and I had, there's all these things. And like I say, I went straight into that 5D to where I had forgiven. I was loving everything. I was crying, vibrating. I mean, I was literally, and dude, I could go up to a snowball, put my hand like 6 inches from it. I bet that thing would melt. I mean, I was like,
Wow.
like an iron. It was crazy how hot I was. But like I said in some of my other videos, when my back went out, it just, it changed everything. Now I'm fighting to get back into that 5D world, and I get there sometimes, and then I come back. And I think that's part of the reason that we're feeling all this. A lot of us are feeling these headaches and this ringing in the ears and these changes in our body. I think we're slowly getting acclimated to this this new frequency and this new earth that we're going to be in. You know what I'm saying? And I think our bodies, they have to move slowly into it, but there's, it's just like anything else, man. You're going to, just like if you start working out, you go to the gym, start working out, you feel different. You come home, you're sore, you're working things that you haven't worked before. Well, it's the same as this, it's the same thing.
Yeah, your muscles gotta rebuild, recalibrate is what I like to think of it as. Cryon says it all the time. It's all a recalibration.
Yes.
People that are talking to their cellular structures and their innate, they still get sick, and they're asking them like, I thought we had control over this. I thought we could,
Right.
not be affected by diseases and illnesses, and Cryon's like, well, yeah, but this is a recalibration. It's not
Yes.
that
And you're probably weaker. You're probably weaker during this time, I would think, your immune system, because it's kind of
well,
frail.
yeah, I don't know. I just think it's the energies, the light that's coming here is like, because I believe that the Palladians are really like holding the energy back and just like letting it drip feed down. You know what I mean? Because if it was
Yes.
all here at one time, like that would be like if your entire soul body, your whole like full existence as a higher being, if you try to put all that light into a human form, you just evaporate. It's just too much light. It's
Yes.
just too much energy. It couldn't handle it. So I think it's
Right.
kind of the same thing. Like there's so much coming here that if it all just came at once, it wouldn't work out well. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Well, you've also got the fact that, your cells, they have consciousness. Every cell in your body is conscious of everything. And as you begin to change, they're addicted to certain chemicals that your hypothalamus put out. And whether it be anger or guilt or whatever these things are, greed, shame, whatever it is, certain things that we beat ourselves up with, that we feed ourselves, and your cells get addicted to that, and now they're starting to change, and you're starting to feed them something different. They're fighting. It's like, this, they're uneasy. Every cell in your body is uneasy, and you're feeling this, and you're aware of this because every cell in your body is uneasy. And then you have the fact that your body is, what, 60, 70, 80% water, whatever it is. And water has memory. We know that water has memory, and we know that, thoughts change the structure of water. Well, you're sitting there in that crusty, crabby, nasty water, murky, sewage shit in your body. And now it's trying to become crystalline, or whatever. And it's like anything else. There's going to be pain with change. I mean, that's the way it is. It's some things, no matter if you're changing, doesn't matter what you change. You could actually, a vegan, if he was to change and start eating red meat, his body would have an adverse effect. The energy that you bring in, if this energy is different than the other energy, you're going to have this kind of fighting for this, this thing, and you're feeling it, and you're like, it's your body, you're feeling it, and you're thinking it, and you're like, damn, I'm feeling strange, what I'm saying? But that's a good thing. If you're not feeling strange, you're probably not ascending, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So I think that part of this whole process, there's going to be some discomfort in it. I think there's just going to be discomfort, but I think that just like going to the gym, there's that discomfort, and then all of a sudden now you're like, whoa, look at me. You know what I'm saying?
There's another thing too, like going to the gym, you made me think of, I was, I've been like working out a little bit, and I did a really good workout, and I was like really sore the next day. And, usually when you do that first one, you're sore for a couple days. It just kind of is real bad at first, and then it kind of like eases into it. And then, 2 or 3 days later, it's usually like 3 days for me, then you're all right again. Well, this time, I've been talking to my cellular structure and higher self and innate, trying to meld it all together is what I'm working on. That's going to be a long process, but you can talk to your cellular structure right now, and you can tell it what to do. You're the boss of your system, your body, your avatar. You are in control. So when you talk to your cellular structure, pay attention to how you feel, because you'll get chills, and that is every cell in your body celebrating that you're finally talking to it. You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit, finally. Other than that, because it's just going to keep, doing the same thing, and it's on autopilot, and it's just absorbing that negative shit that you're thinking and that you're speaking and that you're letting people talk to you, or the news programs that you're watching with, you know, with death and chaos, and that affects the cellular structure of the water that's in your body, and
Yeah.
there's water in your blood is affected too. You know what I mean? Any liquid period are going to be completely realigned based on the frequency of your thoughts. So your thoughts in love and you know, forgiveness and peace are all going to be like beautiful structures, you know, molecular structures. When you talk about, you know, fear and anger and hate, it's chaos. It's absolute chaos. And that's what's going on a cellular level. Like each individual cell is going to have that chaotic reaction to that, whatever you're absorbing. So yeah, I mean, if you're always in that fear and hate and shame, guilt, whatever, you know, what this matrix is generally about and has been about for a long time, then you're going to feel some kind of way. Your body's going to give you diseases, and it's going to deteriorate, you know? Like you can control so much just by changing your mindset to a love, to peace and forgiveness. That alone will completely change your cellular structure. Then you start talking to it and do it once, you know, just you sit there by yourself and like, dear cellular structure, whatever you want to do. I am aware that you're an energy, that you're a consciousness, and I'm aware that we're going to do this now, you know, whatever you want to do. And pay attention to that. Like I said, I mean, when I do it, it's like the whole body's like immediately reacts, and it's like, oh, holy shit.
It's
crazy.
And you gotta feel it, and you gotta believe it. It's all about you know, you gotta feel it, you gotta believe it. Because, you know, your cells know if you're bullshitting, you know what I mean? They know if you're not feeling this. And it's like, you know, Kim, I don't like to use this a whole lot, but you know, she got cancer 5 years ago, and she's a fighter, dude. And she said, this cancer is not going to win. In her mind, she was in a battle, and she went inward and said, let's get it. You know what I mean? You're not going to win. Let's get it on, bro, because I got this. And that's what she did. And that's exactly what she did. And, you know, it's when you watch somebody do that, you can see the power of thought, the power of positive thought. You can see. And she's always been like this person. I swear to God, if there's ever, you wanted somebody to pray for you, it's her, dude. She is like, her prayers, her and God got it like that. I mean, she don't pray a lot, but when she does, it's serious. And she fixes things, you know. I mean, her faith is just unshakable. But, you know, but like I say, you know, you control by the way you think and the way you feel. You know, the way you think and the way you feel, you know, electric and magnetism is everything. That's everything. This whole entire planet, every single, the atoms to the universe to your body. That's how everything works. So you have to have this positive thought, and you have to feel this positive love. You know, you have to feel it.
That just made me think of something else too. So we're connected to the planet. Like, we are made from the materials of this planet. We're connected. So what we do directly affects the planet.
We're literally connected.
Yeah, literally. Like electromagnetically, literally connected.
Yes.
So your cells, or your molecular down to the atom, like you just said, has a torus energy field with the atom, and then your body, you know, and it's many between that, but you know what I mean? So it's like down to the cell to your body all has a torus energy field. And,
yes.
You know, to everything in the planet, in the entire planet, in the entire galaxy, they all have their own energy field. So when I was just talking about your cells being affected, you know, the water in your body being affected, when you're doing that, you're putting that into the planet too, and everything around you is being affected. Everything ripples out into the universe. Yes. Everything is being affected by your negative thoughts and actions and you know, speech, whatever, that is creating chaos around you, like creating storms, creating hurricanes, creating things that, you know, aren't supposed to be natural. If we were all in a harmonious state, I truly don't think there would be any earthquakes. I don't think there'd be any tornadoes or hurricanes or anything like that. Maybe
You're
tornadoes.
absolutely,
Winds got to
you're
go from the
absolutely
earth.
right.
You know, that's what I believe.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And that's exactly why everything is chaotic the way it is. That's why the earth is doing what it is, because there is so many people on this negative channel. So many people turn on the news and they're pissed off the minute that they get up. The first thing they do is check their phone. And if they don't have likes, on their Facebook post, they're pissed about that. If nobody emailed them, they're pissed about that. If Amazon order didn't come in like it's supposed to, they're pissed about, you know. Then they turn on TV and this guy hit and ran over a little girl and left and seen this guy shot this dude up, you know. Then they bring the politics in. Oh boy, is that really fun. And next thing you know, man, you're just pissed off driving to work. This guy cut you off. You're ready to shoot this son of a bitch in the head. You know what I mean? And then you go to work and your boss is a douche. And, you know, the guys next to you, they won't work. You're the only person who ever works. Everybody else is lazy, but they seem to get raises, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation, you know, and you can waller in that. And that's why this shift, everybody's talking about this shift. It's going to take, I believe, if we can just get it to 3-to-1, like 3 of the crusty people to 1 of us to the good people, you know what I mean? Thought process, collective consciousness. I believe there'll be enough of us, just 1/4 of us, I think, can change everything. So as we awaken and more join in and more get connected to this thought, you know, that's out here, this consciousness out here, and send positive intention into it, positive intention and positive intention. We just keep doing this and keep feeding it and keep feeding it. Mother Earth is going to be happy about this. Mother Earth is going to quit, you know, trying to kill us off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
that's it.
She's like, you guys are a shit stain. You know what I'm saying? You're over here destroying everything. Just chopping down.
Talk to the planet too.
We sort of got away from the reconnection. Like me and you. Like we could stay on one subject, me and you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. What's shit? Okay, yeah, the planet. So talking to the planet. You know, I've been really listening to a lot of Cryon, and because it resonates with me, and I feel it in my bones. You know, I feel it, you know, I get that reaction when I hear truth now. It's an overwhelming feeling in my body. I know it without question. I have no doubt in my mind that that's
right.
It's real. So he said something about it. So, you know, he's talking about going outside, you know, with your bare feet, like in the earth, or touch something on the earth and say,
yes,
you know, I forget what he said. It was, you know, basically just, you know, say hello to Gaia and say, welcome home. Because Guy's been waiting for you to say that. Your whole, and Gaia, Mother Earth, knows who you are. They know you by name.
You're part of
connected to everything. You're made from it.
Yes.
Everything. God knows you by name. The Creator knows you by name. The earth knows you by name. You are known. You are loved unconditionally. So don't, you know, first, don't be so hard on yourself. For one,
right.
Take your life, you know, have some joy and passion, and, you know, find out what you're passionate about. Stop working a 9-to-5 that you hate, you know, find something that you like.
Yes.
The universe will support you if you have faith in that. And that's where I'm going right now. You know, I have faith that'll support me, but it's like I have that little fear of quitting my job yet, but I feel like I'm just wrapping some things up. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. So I did that. I went out and I, you know, took my shoes off and socks off, and I stood in my front yard and I said that. You know, I said, welcome home. And I immediately felt energy coming from my feet up to my head. And I was just like tingling, warm, amazing sensation, dude. And I was like, wow, like that is intense. So I stood there for like 20 minutes and it was freezing. My feet were cold. It was wet. Like, it was like 40 degrees and wet. And I was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah, you got to do it, man. That's how you get grounded out. There's negative ions. You know, when you make contact with the earth, there's negative ions. There's positive everywhere. That's what's creating this disease. people aren't getting a balance. And, you know, walking barefooted is one thing. Being around the ocean is another thing. The salt water itself draws negativity out of you. It draws this these certain things out of you that are disharmonious with your body.
Because it's charged a certain way, like with the salt in the water?
I think that's what it is. I believe it's charged. I truly believe it's charged. One thing, it has memory. And water, you know, water, we don't give water enough credit. Water is water's the shit, man. I mean, you know, that Amamoto or whatever his name is, when he does those tests with certain sounds and frequencies and thoughts, and then he flash freezes the water, and then he takes microscopic you know, and the earth being 70% water, our bodies being 70% water, water has memory. Water has a way to heal. I mean, they could take and anoint water and fling it on and you call it holy water. You know, water is a lot more than what we give it credit for. Water is water is like the ether, man.
Why? I just thought of this. I never thought of it before. Why? How do you think they get the holy water? They just bless it, right? So they can speak that vibration into the water.
And yes, they bring the light in.
Change that structure to something. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why water needs light. It turns to mold otherwise. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think there's more to water. I think there's more to everything. I think, you know, like I said in my video, this last one I just made, I think we've got our foot in the door of this whole deal, and we're kind of peeking in, and all of us are tripping out at what we're seeing. We're like, oh my God, you know, this is amazing, but this isn't nothing. You know, this is nothing. We're just getting spoon fed. And then, I'm telling you, man, it's going to get good. It's going to get good. I mean, I think we'll be able to hold our hand out, say, I want an apple, and boom, there's the apple. I mean, I believe that. I believe it's going to get to that because I believe we have those powers. I believe that, you know, Case said in one of his videos, and we'll get back to this reconnection stuff, but he had said that he believes we're using 100% of our brain to convince ourselves that to act out that we're only using 10% of our brain. And you have to sit back and kind of wrap your mind around what he's saying there. But if you think about it and it resonates and then it becomes knowledge, you know, to you, you're like, you understand, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
that's you know, that came from Bashar. Bashar said that, and someone's like, you're really smart, and they're like, how are you so smart? And he's like, I'm smart because I know I'm smart, you know?
Yes.
Like I just know it, so I am. And he said that like right after that comment, he's like, you're smart too. If you just know you're smart and know you have, you know, full access and you know, full capability, 100% capability of your mind, that, you know, you're so powerful that you have convinced yourself that you're only using 10% and you are living accordingly. You know what I mean? So, but then, you know, there's a whole nother thing with what is your brain really doing? You know, your brain is just like it's like the processor. You know what I mean? Your
brain is many things. There's many parts of your brain, man.
But you know,
so many different things.
Your mind isn't what's thinking and generating your most of your thoughts. You know, that's coming from your higher mind. That it's going through and you're transmuting that, or however that works. I'm not describing it well. Okay. It's in my head, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. And I'm not trying to change the subject, but I just thought of this insight that I had that I've been wanting to talk to you about. And because when I lay down at night, I'm going to find out what the state is right between sleep and dream, or sleep and wake. You know, there's that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's gamma. I don't think it's gamma. It could be gamma, but beta maybe. There's a certain state that you get into where your subconscious mind and there's more of a bridge between your conscious and your subconscious mind. And, you know, you can kind of tap in to your subconscious mind. And that's how a lot of inventors and a lot of like Einstein and guys like that, they came up with things. But anyway, so I had this.
Just keep talking. I'm going to change the view, but just keep talking. All right.
Okay. I had this insight that, okay, you know, you had told me that you had been seeing things out of the corners of your eyes. I've been seeing things like there's always these shadows, these things that look like they're moving, and I'll see things on the ground. I always think it's a mouse, or I don't know what it is, and there's never anything there. And then I'll see things up higher, and I look, and there's never anything there. But out of the corners of my eyes, I can see these things. Well, I had this vision the other night that, we, through our consciousness, we all agree on this reality. We all are focusing on this reality, and that's what creates everything around us, because we're all in agreement in this super conscious level, on this connected level. Well, we had talked about the veils thinning and all this. Well, okay, how do I explain this? Okay, so we're, through the pupils of our eyes, through the very centers of our eyes, the pupils, we're creating everything we see in front of us. Everything we see in front of us, we're creating, supposedly. And I believe this too. And so, like, if you look at your eyeball, you got the pupil, the iris, and all this and that. And then you got the outer perimeters of your eye. And I think we're trying so hard in this 3D world to, make this reality, we're constantly, that's what our subconscious mind does. It makes this reality that we're seeing. Well, the veil's being lifted, and we're, like, your subconscious mind is also in this 5D, you know what I'm saying? Where you can see other beings and other energies and other entities or whatever. So, you're trying your hardest, your subconscious mind's trying its hardest to stay in this 3D and keep all this shit together, and keep what you're seeing in front of you together. So the front of your eyes right here, you can see it. But out of the corners of your eyes, it's weaker. That's where the veil is thin, and that's where you're seeing the shit. You see a shadow, you look. Well, the front of your eyes is what looks. When you look, it's the front of your eyes that looks, the shadow's gone. But if you come back here, you can see everything in front of you, because that's what you're making happen. You're making this happen with your eyeballs. You're sitting there making it happen. But over here, something's moving. And then you look and it's gone. Well, the reason that it's moving, and the reason you're seeing it is because, or at least this is this insight that I had, is that the veil is thinning. That the veil is thinning, and that it's so hard to focus and keep it all together everywhere. So now we're just like keeping it together right here, and this shit out here is thinning out, and then we're seeing some stuff, and we look, but unfortunately our eyeballs go with it, the part of us that's projecting this image, because a lot of people think we see the image and it comes in. Actually, we're making this image, through our consciousness. We're making this. We're all in agreement with this world that we live in. Mm-hmm. It's hard to describe, but does it make any sense to you, what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. It makes a lot of sense.
Because I'm like, because I was like, does this make sense? Does this, but, because I always have these like little insight things, and I'm thinking, is that my imagination? I'm always asking myself, is it, because I have always had a real active
imagination. It's your ego battling with your higher self.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And your ego is such a douchebag, you know what I mean? Your ego is such an asshole. It's like, dude, you're so stupid for thinking that, you know what I mean? But it's like, whoa, dude, you know what I mean?
Your ego is just there to protect you, and this is something new and different that you've never done before. So it thinks it's something bad.
Your ego is your character, like The Sims.
Yeah.
Your ego is your character. That's whether you wanted to be a dog, a woman with a red dress, or a guy with blue pants, whatever, you created that character, created your house, created your car, you've done all that. But the real dude behind the shit is you with the controller. You're up here doing everything, But the guy on the screen, the guy on the screen, he never sees you. He's in the game, and he's all running around doing whatever, collecting points or whatever they do.
That's what Kaz, from the Curious YouTube channel, said. That she had like a vision or something, like her higher self showed her that it's like a chessboard, and we're the chess pieces, and our higher selves are the people playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was clever. That's a clever way to think of it. But back to what you're talking about with seeing reality. It's like the veil is so thin that we can see behind the veil now. That you have to focus all your attention, all your energy you know, the projection has to focus all its energy on like a tunnel vision. So this stays what you know it to be, and then the rest of it's kind of falling apart around it. You know, like that.
Yes.
I like how you put that together. That makes sense, because now like like I hadn't seen much out of the corner of my eye for probably like 2 months, and if I saw something, it was like right there, like it was just a shadow, and it was like just went by, and it would just happen so fast, you know. But now lately, for the last you know, week, really this last week, when I kind of just decided to let go of YouTube for a couple of days and just do my own thing and rest a little bit, I noticed that I'm seeing a lot more stuff now out of the corner of my eye. I mean, like I used to see a cat all the time, like a cat running around, a cat on my, like the Matrix, like in the movie The Matrix, you know, the cat goes by and then it does it again, like it's a glitch for the deja vu. And like, I see a cat like sitting in my kitchen, sitting on the stairs, running up to me outside, and then, you know, I just see things out of the corner of my eye. Well, that's starting to happen again, and it's like I feel like I'm seeing like the guides or other entities that are around, because, you know, I see them like right around my kids. Like I'll see one right there, like out of the corner of my eye. Like he'll be like laying there or we're playing, and then I'll just see something that's like right above him. You know what I mean? And then it just disappears. But the interesting thing with that is when I see it near the boys, it's a really light, like it's bright, not a shadow. Everything else is a shadow, but with them it's bright. Like I think that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just see it all the time, even down to like things the size of a mouse. You know, I've seen a couple of those that are just little things, and every night at a certain time, like as soon as I get settled in, once everyone else is asleep or upstairs in bed, I haven't figured out what toy it is, but the certain toy in the toy box just starts moving. It's like, no, it's not a battery thing. It doesn't have power to it. It's just it's a wind up. So you have to push it and the tires will start going once you get that momentum going. And it just does it by itself. Like with me, every time I'm settled in, it's not any particular time. It's just whenever I've settled in. It's like there's someone saying, hey, how you doing? Like, you know, like, I think if you're aware of I think once you're aware of these things and you don't fear them, you'll have a lot easier time seeing these things, or it won't freak you out. They may be more likely to show themselves, or you'll be more aware of it, and you can start to notice things. Because I used to be scared of it. I used to be terrified of it, you know, because you're in that fear mindset, that Satan, devil, demon mindset, which that's
scary movies.
But think about it this way: when those negative entities that everyone's talking about, you make them, you manifest that negativity, and that's feeding off of you. And when you're in a negative state, that's your,
so it becomes real.
How powerful you are. You made that, so you can destroy it with the light. Simple.
Yes, simple as that. And that's how you got to remember that. Remember, I told you the night that you and I done our exchange, our healing exchange, energy exchange. Later on that night, I told you there was a big, dark, you know, it was like good 7 foot tall, man. And it came, it was like imposing. It was like coming at me and over me, and it was like trying to be, you know, and I was telling it to back off, you know, this and that. And at first it wasn't buying. I wasn't buying it either because I was scared. I was thinking, oh shit, here we go again, you know, because I don't dig ghosts and stuff, you know. But finally I told it, you know, I'm the boss here, you know what I mean, or whatever I said to it. I don't know what I told it, but I told it, you know, sort of like I'm like God or something, you know what I mean? I'll destroy your, and it went away. It went away. I mean, I literally made it go away, and it just kind of went back into the distance where I couldn't hardly see it anymore. But then some other crazy shit happened, you know, everything pixelated, and then it turned into grains, and then it just dissolved like sand. And then I thought I was going to see, what I thought was happening is I thought that everything around me was dissolving, and I thought that I was going to see through my roof, and I thought I was going to see the stars. I thought I was going to see the sky. But I just looked into an empty void. It was just like an empty void. There was no stars, no universe, no nothing. Just everything fell away, and then there was nothing. And that lasted 10, 15 minutes. And then finally I rubbed my eyes and I made it come back because I was like, where am I and what am I doing? Because I thought I was about to I thought I was going to astral project, and I was all down for it. I was like, here we go, dude. I'm going straight to the pyramids. You know what I mean?
Was it all like black, like dark when you
Yeah. Yeah. And it's you know, you had talked earlier, I was going to throw this in there too. You know, you had said something about how we're all, like, your cells in your body have consciousness, and then you had talked about how, you know, you had put your bare feet on the ground to ground out. Well, you have to look at the earth as, like, if you look at the earth as a human body, we're all the cells. Those cells that you spoke to in your body, that's what we are. And as we change, it's like the cells of the earth are changing.
I like that.
Still cancer cells on the earth. There's still all this cancer, but we're like these, like, white blood cells, whatever those blood cells are that go and attack the cancer, and fight the cancer. That's what we are. Either the white blood cells, red blood cells, whatever they are.
I love that, dude. That is profound. And that makes so much sense. Just like that, all the galaxies in the system are like a part of a central brain of, like, prime creator's brain. You know what I mean? And then down to the planet and beings on the planet, or the cellular structure. Oh, wow, dude. I like that. I like that.
It's as above, so below, as above. You know, it's everything comes down to the 7 hermetic principles.
Yes.
And I'm going to be making a video on that. And that's what even all the religions, all spiritual people from Asia to Europe to America to wherever, they all draw from those hermetic principles. And Hermes Trismegistus, I think was his name. But all of them, you know, all religions, they all take from these 7 principles, which, like I said, I'm going to do a video on this. And that's really how a lot of, you know, the people, they call it the secret, and they talk about how you manifest through mind, you know, and thoughts have wings. That comes from that. That comes from the hermetic principles. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're getting way off subject. Are we ever going to get back to the reconnection? Are we going to go back there? Are we just too far gone?
That's it. Yeah, I don't know if we're going back anymore. I think we touched on a good bit of it. Hold on, let me check my phone real quick.
Yeah, you got your second session coming.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the case. Yeah, I think we talked pretty good on the reconnection for now. You know, we can go back to it. I am in, you know, I was recording little bits and pieces of my trip up here yesterday, and, you know, when I got here, did a little video, and I didn't do a video with Case, but I'm going to do something today with them, just a short and sweet probably, but then I'm going to piece all that together and have a little compilation video. I got all kinds of pictures I took on the way up here. It's going to be a cool video, so definitely stay tuned. Check that out. And I don't know if I'll get any footage of the reconnection because I really don't move or have any registers like that. Who knows today, you know?
Second time.
Yeah, I might set the camera up just in case and see how it goes. At least put like a little snip of it in there. I think it'd be cool to have.
Yeah, I don't think he don't really like you doing the session, or at least that's what he told me. He's like, well, you can record all this. He said, but not the session. But then he had the camera going, and he said, well, do you want me to take this and record some of it? Because that was the second day, because he's seen what I did the first day. And I was like, yeah, you know, which he did record some of the first day on his phone because he was going to send it to me in text and say, how was that? You know, he thought it was funny watching me, you know, do my little telegraph thing, because my hand over here is flopping around. This hand's flopping around, going right and left, and this one's ding, 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 ding. I don't know what the hell it was trying to tap out, some kind of message probably. But yeah, it's crazy, man. But I do want to hear the rest of the story. I do want to hear what happens, you know. So you should make a video, because I know everybody's interested. There's a lot of people that are on the fence. And before we do close this up, because I know that we're getting ready to, you know, you can probably reconnect yourself. People probably could become, but it's going to take a lot of time and effort and meditation and going within. There's going to be a lot of things that probably a process that you would have to go through, because I felt like I sort of reconnected myself.
Me too.
You know, back when I did the 5D deal. And, but I still I don't care. I wanted Case to do it. I wanted to meet him. I wanted to support him, and I wanted him to do it. And I think it's a faster track. I think, you know, anybody who's thinking about doing it,
And not
if you're
only
drawn,
that, it's part of an evolutionary track. Like this energy is light and information. You know, light is information.
yes,
But it's also been like studied in scientific, like, you know, experiments were done about, you know, how it affects the people,
plants,
DNA, the cellular structure, everything. So it has an,
track record.
yeah, it's like what am I trying to say? It alters your DNA.
Yes.
It will evolve. It's like a fast track evolution for your DNA is kind of how I see it. You know what I mean? As a part of it.
Yes.
But you know, it also it does reconnect you with the universe. You know, you can do it yourself. I had the distance session back in November, and I feel like I've done the work to where like I've started feeling more in touch with everything around me, like everything on my own.
Yes.
But it doesn't, you know, I still wanted to do this, and to be a practitioner, to do the reconnection, you have to have a reconnection too. So you know, it's all coming like full circle now. So
Yes.
I'm so excited, you know, to get this finish this up, and then get out to the reconnection training, and you know, be a practitioner,
Right.
you know, and actually do this. And that's what I want to talk to Case today about, is how he got started after his training and doing what he did, you know, being a practitioner. And back then he told me that you could do the training for the to be a practitioner and the reconnection training in 5 days. It was like a week class, and you got it all done in 1 week. And I was like, man, that's because I was looking it up, and I can't even find the next training for the reconnection. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Which is the next level that I want to do, and I want to do it like immediately, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't even know when that'll be. It might have to be next year sometime.
What you may do is get his contacts, tell him, you know, you need to contact him, you know, who does he know that he can give you numbers to that will get you on the fast track, you know, because he knows Dr. Eric Pearl, you know, he's probably got Dr. Pearl's number, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I'm sure that he has that lady who's his understudy. There's probably others, you know, that he's, you know, that are his understudies, that somebody somewhere should be able to hook you up, you know what I'm saying, in the States where you don't have to leave the States. But the nice thing is,
they do have other people that do the training. So yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that.
Yeah. And let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know what the hell's going on, because you're writing, making notes. Yeah, I hear you. I got to make my notes immediately when I think them, dude. I'll forget them within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
My brain is so like, I'm so off onto something else so quick anymore that, man, I can't hardly remember 2 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, you've seen me. We'll sit here and talk, and if I speak more than 3 or 4 sentences, I start losing my train of thought. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know where I started. I just can't remember. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, okay, now where was I going with this? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, that's like when you talk for a couple of minutes, like I have each point that you're talking about, I want to say something about. And then whatever I start with is like where it ends, or maybe I'll get to the second one. I never get more than that, because it's just like, it's constantly, I know, still thinking of more and more stuff. It's just constantly going, man.
Well, every time I talk, you need to get your notebook out and get those points. You know what I mean? Just briefly write them down. You know, I want to touch on this. I want to touch on that. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna do like have a notepad and just like list the topics, you know, and just write it and do it. But that might take away from the actual listening, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah. We're gonna keep playing with it. It's gonna keep evolving. I think we're on the right track. I think we're doing some really good things here. Your channel's blowing up and getting subscribes. Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. You're gonna be caught up with me in no time. Well, shit, you almost are already. I think I'm at like 134 subs right now.
Last time I looked, I had 70 something.
That's crazy. You had like 28 the other day.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. You know, I mean, you don't even know how happy I am. I told you that this morning, I'm giddy as hell. I can't wait to get off so I go see if I got any more. And I told her, I said, it's going to come. You know,
Yeah.
I've been doing, well, when did I start this channel? Like, I think I started it just before the Reconnection. I think I started it like at the end of August or the 1st of September. So it's been, what, 6 months now.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly, and I think you've been doing yours, what, 3 months?
Yeah.
But you have been aggressive like a salesman should. When I used to be, I was a real estate agent for years. I've sold cars for years. And I was just like you, I was like real tenacious. I was extremely aggressive. I was on top of my mind, I would think of these little angles of how, you know, to be successful that other people hadn't thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're doing. And like, you built this thing so well. And kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? Good job. And I'm really glad that you reached out to me because it's, you know how I've been. I've been sort of like, I guess, insecure, I guess you would say, or just like, should I, you know, because I've got, dude, you got to see my phone. I bet you I've got 80 videos. I've only posted like 13 or 14 videos, but I've got like 80 of them on my phone. And I look at it and I watch it and I take off and go in left field. Then I go to right field. I'm like, this is not even what this video was supposed to be about, you know?
I think most people are like that, and I'm glad you brought that up because I've talked to a couple people that are in the same, like, I think everyone goes through it, that you're worried about it being perfect. You know, you want it to be perfect. You are your worst critic, so you're gonna nitpick every detail. And you know, right from the beginning, I made a couple videos where I just deleted them. They were terrible. Like, you know, you don't realize what you do, like when you talk, so you watch yourself. But
yeah,
you know, you get to something to where you're comfortable and you feel like you like how you look and how you speak, and it comes off fluid. You know, you hit a good flow state, and you're all right. So you can't like critique everything to where, you know, unless you're like picking your nose or something, then like edit that out. You know, like you gotta do. You gotta be out there. You gotta get past that and just know that it's good. You know, your information's good. It's coming from the heart. It will resonate with people, and it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you don't need the perfect backdrop or the perfect lighting, or just the message. If the message is pure and from the heart, it will resonate with people. And you just gotta, you know, just get past that thing. Once you do, it's like you really don't care. And then once you think and realize that what other people think about you is really none of your business, and you just worry about how you think about you and continue on that, continue on your journey, on your process, and just keep living your life and sharing your story and your information, because what you're saying is helping a lot of people, you know, confirm what's going on in their life, that lets them know that this is real. They're not going crazy, you know? So, and I think a lot of people are going through that too, especially starting out the YouTube channels and getting started. So
the information is so much more important than the video itself. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it could just be a black screen and you talking, you know?
And some people do.
I think what happens is with me is what I critique is that I know what my thoughts are. I know that I have this like dope ass, this thought is like, oh my God, you know, but then when I turn the camera on, I fumble in my mouth, blah, 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 I can't say words right. I'm like, well, I've never been like that. I mean, when I come up on people, man, I'm the kind of guy, I shake your hand, look you right in the eye, and I know exactly what to say and how to say it, or articulate myself so well. But on video, I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is wrong with me, you know?
It's different, man. I was talking to Case about this last night. Like, it's not as easy as you might think to turn the camera on and talk to the camera and be, you know, like a bubbly personality while you're just talking to an inanimate object. But you know, you do it a couple times, you get used to it. Like, I'm really comfortable with it now. I don't.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
it me. Yeah, and I don't even know how many videos. I think I have 50 videos or something like that, 30 or 50.
Good job. Hell yeah.
I'm pumping them out like crazy. But now we're gonna keep doing this, and I once I transition out of my job, into this full time. I'm really going to set a schedule. We're going to have set days that we do this show. I'm going to have days for other shows, and then, you know, whatever happens in between.
Right.
And then, you know, that way I can do a schedule with every, you know, these different YouTubers that I want to do. But yeah, we're into about an hour and a half here almost. So,
well, let me just give a shout out to people that are thinking about having a healing. AJ is like, he's got the magic touch, just like Case. So contact AJ. I'm not ready to do distant healings yet, but if you live in my town, I'll definitely come and wave my hands and see what we can make happen. You know what I mean? See if I get some registers, because I'm feeling it, man. I'm, you know, and like I say, Kim's the only one I've ever worked on. I'm trying to get my sons to go for it, but they just think, Dad, what are you, man, you're crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't tell them a whole lot. I tell them a little bit, but which my one boy, he was really interested in the reconnection, and he wanted to hear every detail and stuff like that. But as far as laying down and being healed there, which I think I got one of my sons sort of talked into. His girlfriend's definitely talked into it, so I'm going to start on her, you know. But as far as you go, as far as AJ goes, contact AJ, email him. He's got some hellacious deals going on distant healing. So I just wanted to give you the shout out on that.
appreciate it.
Save you the time. Save you the time.
Yeah, definitely. If you're interested in the session, you know, I'm not having any set prices for the month of March until I go to the Reconnection training. So it's donation basis. You know, whatever you feel you got out of it, just donate something. It's got to be an energy exchange. You know, I'll do the session. You give me what you can, what you're comfortable with. I don't want to take food off the table, obviously.
Just base it on the net worth. Like if they're worth $1 million, tell them to send you 20,000.
Yeah, and that's it.
Net worth, you know what I mean?
What's 20 grand if you got $1 million? You know,
right.
$100,000 if you got $1 million.
Right.
You know, or $5 or $10 or $50.
Right.
Whatever works for you.
Everything helps.
Whatever you feel you got out of it and that you can afford. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Yes, another great episode of Behind the Veil. I really like doing this show, and we will continue on and on and on. And congratulations again on the new subscribers and the uptick in the channel. I am happy for you. And yeah, man, just, you know, be the change that you want to see in the world. You know, love yourself, love everybody. Some people you gotta love from a distance, but that's okay. Just, you know, you still love them, but you know, just keep a little distance if that's not a good person for you to be around. You know, and just be the change you want to see. Embody that change. You know, it's like you said, you change that mindset. That is ascension. That's your first step of the ascension, is completely changing the way you think, and that will realign your cellular structure. Everything about you and your body will be changed. And it's like, I don't want to say it because Case has a great example of that, but I'll let him say that. It's like a completely restructured, man. You're completely new. You look the same, you sound the same, but inside you're a completely different person.
Right. And actually people will pick up on it. People they're around 2 or 3 times, they're like, man, there's something different about him, you know. That's
what I've learned. I've heard it, but I've also learned this firsthand, that, you know, like when you awaken to these truths, you want to like tell everybody and like beat them over the head with it, like they gotta understand it like you understand it, but you can't do that. Like they're learn it, and
they're not ready
if they're gonna learn it. So you be the change. You sit in your love and your peace, and people will see that. They'll
be drawn to it,
and then they will ask, how are you being so calm and still in the love bubble when this whole storm is going on around you? And then you tell them what you've learned, you know. That's the invitation to start that conversation, so they see the results and what that can get them, because that's what it's about. All right, thanks again.
Let's wrap it up.
Show, you want to say anything else?
I just want to thank people who've subscribed and anybody who's thinking about doing it. And I just love all you guys, and I love you, brother. And I'm really just loving all this. You know, it's making these new connections with people that I actually feel more connected and more familiar with than I do some of my own family. It's
Right.
like on a same wavelength with a lot of people that I don't even know, from the UK, from Chicago, from, I mean, you name it, San Francisco, California, LA, whatever. I'm meeting these people and we're like so much alike and so like drawn to each other and so immediately connected, and it's just, I'm loving it. It's good stuff, man. I like it.
It's absolutely mind blowing every day.
Yeah.
Every day, how connected we are. It's awesome. Yeah. So great episode. We'll do it again soon. And thank you to everybody that subscribed to our channels through the Higher Self YouTube channel, and thank you to the Higher Self YouTube channel.
Yes,
really
thank you.
Appreciate everything that you're doing for us.
Thank you, Don. Yes, thank you, Don.
And with that, I bid you adieu.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.